We finally get to Theorycraft since beta. I mean, it has been so long. I think it was June of last year of 2020 since the last time we've truly had to like think about what classes we wanted to use to min-max all of our talents and all this other stuff. Now we have all of the new talents. In case you missed it, Spellbreak released all of the new talents, all the changed talents, and only one of them was unchanged. The only change that it did actually have was it went from a 0.2 to a 0.4, and that's Runic Fluency, which is the exact same, but everything else was either changed or is brand new. And everything's in a different category now. There is an image, you can have it, and it's made by the homie Heckin, by the way, and it lays it out very clean, very easy to read. It is a little bright, but you know. So the point of today's video is we're going to talk about my top 5 that I think will be fun, not necessarily competitive, because again, we don't know what the new mode's going to be. We don't know how things are going to play in the BR, but we're going to just kind of see and read and do a bunch of things. So I went ahead and wrote down some things that I think will be pretty fun. So first thing you need to know is that there are now 2 rune cooldown talents. One of them is Intelligent, it's a 1 point, and one of them is Runic, which you know, but this is a 4 point now, and it's max rune charge is +1, still the same. Rune cooldown is 5, 7, 10, 15, which is the same. The talent, the 1 point talent though, is Intelligent, which is rune cooldown of 5, 10, 15, and 25. I probably will be using that talent in most of my builds, if not every single one, mainly just because like I tend to spam my runes, which is not good, by the way. Don't do this. I tend to spam my runes a little bit more. This is a 1 point talent for what I was using a 4 point talent, or I guess it was a 2 point, but now it would be a 4 point talent to be using for. So I'm going to use Intelligent probably in all of my builds. So my first build that I'm probably going to try, which a lot of you are going to not like this and you might click off the video for this one, but Intelligent, Ambidextrous, and Mystical. Ambidextrous has gotten a buff at this point. It is still a 4 point talent, and I don't really care about the offhand aspect, the level 1 skill part. What I do care about is offhand spell mana cost. It is now 10, 15, 20, and 35% as you bonus pump that up. That's the mana cost buff that you get. And you pair that with Mystical, which is max mana, which is a 1 point. So you're doing a 1 4 1 Mystical, max mana of +10, +12, +15, and +25. So you're moving quickly. You've got your offhand mine will probably be using this on Tempest with fire offhand, so I'll be getting squall damage, plus I'll be able to have my spell mana cost is a little bit cheaper, and I have just more mana in general to use on my fireball. So I mean, I really do think that this is going to be a fun, maybe even a slightly competitive build. I'm not saying like competitive like you're going to be the best for this build, but it is going to be slightly competitive against other builds in this one. On to my second one, and my second one is going to be Runic, Dex, and Mystical. Runic is still max charge of +1. Its Runic cooldown is still 5, 7, 10, 15%. However, Dex is now run speed +3. Levitation mana cost is 15, -15, -18, -20, -30%. So far you've got double the rune, you got a lot, you're much faster, and then you got Mystical, which is max mana of +10, +12, +15, +25. So basically you're just going to be all up in their face all the time, and you have a lot more mana than you would potentially if you didn't have Mystical. So you have the speed, you have the runes, you have more mana, so you're just going to be W keying, and this is probably going to be if I had to guess, I'm trying to look at this thing and see if there's any other way that you could be more W key than this build. I do think that is the most W key build than you will find. If I'm wrong, tell me down below and tell me if you would match something else in that build to make it even more so of a W key build, but I think that's going to be our number 1 W key build right off the bat. That's Runic, Dex, and Mystical. Then my third one is going to be Tracking, Dex, and Thirsty. So Thirsty did get changed, Tracking did get changed, and Dex we just went over, it also got changed. But Tracking is on damage target, outline target for you, which was the same, and your squad, which was the same, 3, 5, 7, and 10 seconds. So you're gonna be able to track the player for 10 seconds at max. You're gonna be able to run up to them with your run speed of 3% or +3, and then your levitation mana cost, if they're getting to the air, is cheaper as well. However, with Thirsty, you're gonna be able to heal and get around corners faster while being able to watch them still. Drink your pot, get in there quicker because you have dexterity. So you're gonna be able to watch them if you've tracked them through buildings and such, so you can heal knowing you're safe. It's quicker to heal with Thirsty. And then dexterity, you can just get back into the fight faster. I think this is going to be a very, very good build. I would be shocked if I didn't see people run this. I don't think it's been talked a lot about, and I don't know if it was really run very much beforehand, but I do think this is going to be a pretty decent build, which doesn't do a lot of damage. It's more of a utility build, and we'll see how people do with this. But because people do like to do either the healing or the damage build, but the breakdown of these talents so far has been more based around like actual thought process and actually thinking about what you're doing, and instead of just damage or heal. So I think this is going to be a good build: tracking, dexterity, and thirsty. Number 4 is going to be hardened, tough, and vampiric. This is, I think, there are some other tank builds in this, but I think this is going to be which is hardened, tough, and vampiric. Hardened is immune to ignition and corrosion, and then freeze and shock duration on you is starting out at -35%, -50%, -75%, and then -90%. So at the end of it, if you upgrade this all the way off, you're practically immune to ignition, corrosion, which you already are, and freeze and shock, which we basically had in the game before, just a little bit different with ignition and corrosion instead of slowed. So you've got hardened, and then you've got tough, which is max armor of +10, +12, +15, and +25. It's basically like a small vigor, just on your shield instead, basically half, and it's a 1 point instead of a 3 point. So it's a good little on top of the things. So these 1 point talents are going to be pretty good. So you've got hardened, tough, and vampiric. So vampiric is heal for 20, 25, 30, 40% of health damage done, and that is enemies' health damage done. So if you have more health that you can do, and you can do this with vigor as well. You could do vigor and vampiric, but that's 5, so you wouldn't be able to use hardened. So you'd have to do like intelligent if you would like to, or spellslinger or curious. But I really do think that the hardened, tough, and vampiric is going to be pretty good, so that you've got that armor. And yes, you won't be able to get vampiric bonus until you are done, but it's about being as tanky as possible. So you want to have as much armor as you want to have possible, and then you want to be able to heal as much as you want with the vampiric. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to work well specifically together, and my last build is going to be intelligent, wellspring, and inspired. So intelligent is the 1 point on mind, which is the rune cooldown of 5, 10, 15, 25%. Then wellspring is a mana recharge rate of +25. And then on 0 mana, spell damage is +10, +12, +15, +20% for 6 seconds. So what that means is you deplete all of your mana, and then you get that bonus for 6 seconds. Plus, then, since you've got that mana recharge rate of +25, your recharge is going to be quicker than anybody else's. So inspired is then spell damage +10, 12, 15, 20% while you have a rune charge, which is why the intelligent on the other end is a rune cooldown of 5, 10, 15, and 25%. This is probably going to be a very high damage build if you use it correctly. I mean, it's not probably, it is going to be a very high damage build, and I'll probably use this a good amount on pyro. This is probably going to be my pyro build, is going to be the intelligent, wellspring, inspired. Now, I did say earlier that I don't like that they used to have only just like damage builds. This is going to be, I think, realistically, the only true hefty damage build. I could be wrong, but looking at it right now, I do think it is. This is the weekend right after we got everything last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're gonna have more time to look at these in the next few weeks. After we know what's gonna come with the game mode, which we will learn this week. Today's Monday, so we should get that information this week about what's gonna happen. I do think that we're gonna break it down specifically for the game mode and see what's gonna be good for the game mode. We might even bring in some class stuff, maybe some like actual, what's cool about these talents is that you can actually break these down into like tank, healer, damage, DPS, or like support. You can actually do that with this. This is really cool. Crashy did it on Reddit the other day. It is really freaking cool that you can just like break these down and actually have true identities within your talents outside of your class. So I'm interested to see how this all plays together with the new game mode. So once the game mode comes out, or not with the game mode, once we know more about the game mode, then I'll have this same type of video, but specific about the game mode a week from now, if we get enough information for this week. We'll also do the Wednesday weekly roundups, which we always do. So I don't know what we'll have to talk about then, but hopefully we have a good amount. And then maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll get more game mode information, so we can have the same type of thing we had last week, which we had a video on the mind talents, the body talents, and spirit talents, all each separated by a day. So we might have some information there as well. Guys, tell me how wrong I was. Tell me how wrong I was in the comments below, or find me on Twitch. I stream every single day. Well, I just took a week off, or not a week off, just 3 days off. We'll be back today, tomorrow, and we'll be back up until I don't know when, but probably for a very long time. So come tell me how wrong I was in chat. Also, guys, hit the like, hit the sub button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Yo, I'm hungry where them Cheetos at. They stay biting like where them mosquitoes at. I'm on point like an elbow, hands red like Elmo. My mama said, have you had enough? I looked and I said, said, no ma'am, I go ham in the grocery store or Fanta and